At exactly 11:17 p.m., an FBI agent logged into a file that was never meant to exist. There was no case number, no jurisdiction tag, no authorization trail. Just a black screen and one word, typed in white capital letters. Void. The agent stared at it for a long moment. His finger hovered over the mouse. Then he clicked. What appeared next would quietly end his career and begin a chain of events that the Bureau would later deny ever happened. Pause. 3 months earlier, a man named Ethan Cross walked into a small police station in rural Arizona. He looked exhausted, unshaven, eyes red like he hadn't slept in days. The desk officer asked for his ID. Ethan shook his head. "I don't have one." The officer sighed, already annoyed. "Name? Ethan Cross." The officer typed it into the system. Nothing came up. No license, no social security number, no record of birth. Ethan leaned closer and lowered his voice. "I worked for a federal task force that officially never existed." The officer laughed. Until Ethan added one more sentence. "They erased me when I tried to leave." The room went quiet. Within 6 minutes, the station phone rang. The caller didn't introduce himself. He didn't need to. The officer was told, very calmly, to release Ethan immediately and forget the interaction ever happened. No report, no bodycam footage, no questions, but someone remembered. Special Agent Mark Halloway had been with the FBI for 14 years. Counterintelligence, internal threats, sensitive operations. He had seen identities wiped clean before. But never someone alive who had already been erased. When Mark finally tracked Ethan down weeks later, it was too late. The motel room was empty. The bed hadn't been slept in. The phone was smashed against the wall. The curtains were torn down. On the bathroom mirror, written with shaking hands in black marker, were 3 words: "They found me." Pause. That same night, a body was discovered in a dry riverbed outside Phoenix. Burned beyond recognition. Dental records didn't match. Fingerprints returned nothing. Facial reconstruction failed. The report concluded, unknown male. Case closed, but Mark felt something tighten in his chest. Because 2 hours before the body was found, Ethan had sent one final message to an encrypted number Mark had given him. One word: void. Long pause. Mark broke protocol. He searched every federal database. Nothing. No Ethan Cross, no task force, no erased assets, until he accessed a legacy server scheduled for deletion. An old system most agents didn't even know still existed. That's where he found it. Buried beneath layers of dead code and corrupted files, Operation Void, a classified joint task force. Not designed to protect assets, not designed to relocate them, designed to remove them permanently once their usefulness ended. Witnesses, contractors, handlers. If you knew too much, you didn't disappear, you were erased. Ethan Cross had been one of them, a logistics analyst. A ghost inside the system, except something went wrong. Ethan didn't stay erased. He ran, and when he stepped back into the public world, the system reacted. Pause. Mark downloaded everything. Names, dates, orders. Then his screen froze. His access was revoked mid-download. His credentials failed. A warning appeared, unauthorized activity detected minutes later. His phone buzzed. Internal alert. His badge was flagged. His name appeared on a restricted monitoring list. In less than 10 minutes, Mark went from investigator to potential threat. That night, while sitting alone in his apartment, Mark received a call from a blocked number. The voice on the other end was calm, almost polite. "You're asking the wrong questions." Mark asked who he was speaking to. There was a short pause. Then the voice replied, "You already know." The line went dead. Pause. The next morning, Mark resigned. Officially, he left the Bureau due to personal reasons. Unofficially, he vanished. No social media, no forwarding address, no digital trail. Weeks later, an anonymous package arrived at an investigative journalist's office. Inside was a flash drive. On it, one folder, one word. Void. The article was never published. The journalist never explained why. But months later, a quiet policy change occurred inside federal systems. Legacy servers were wiped. Old task force records were sealed, and Operation Void was scrubbed from existence. Again, As for Ethan Cross, the body in the riverbed was never identified. And the man who claimed he was erased was never officially declared dead, because some cases aren't solved, they're deleted, and some files aren't classified. They're designed to disappear. And yet, despite everything being erased, small traces remained. A forgotten audit log, a corrupted backup, a timestamp that didn't line up. Months after Operation Void was wiped for the second time, a junior systems analyst noticed something strange while running routine maintenance. Every erased file shared one identical gap. Exactly 9 seconds of missing data. 9 seconds that appeared again and again across different years, different servers, different agencies. No explanation. When the analyst asked his supervisor about it, he was told it was a known error and advised not to document it. He asked anyway. The next day, his access level was reduced. A week later, he was transferred. He never mentioned the gap again. Pause. Somewhere outside the system, Mark Halloway watched quietly, from borrowed phones, from temporary connections. From places without cameras, he knew exposing the truth wouldn't happen all at once. Not with headlines, not with arrests, but with pressure. Small leaks, anonymous tips. Questions that couldn't be fully buried, because systems like Void didn't collapse from explosions. They collapsed from attention. As for Ethan Cross, no one can say for certain what happened to him. Some believe the body in the riverbed was staged. Others think Ethan survived long enough to trade information for silence. But one thing is undeniable. Every few years, a call is logged inside federal systems. No caller ID, no recording, no transcript, just a timestamp. 3:42 a.m. and for exactly 9 seconds, the system freezes. Then everything returns to normal. No alerts, no investigation, no explanation. Except for one internal note that appears briefly before deleting itself. Void active, do not pursue. Long pause because some programs don't end, they go dormant. Waiting for someone else to notice the gap.